Contracting for change, the capacity team-based approach. In a previous video, we looked at the need for contractual flexibility when delivering capability in a rapidly changing environment. The capacity team-based approach defines the multidisciplinary teams required to deliver a set amount of value over a fixed period of time at a fixed price. To help us understand how we might apply this approach, we're going to use an example of how we might contract for multidisciplinary teams to deliver value in a sandwich shop. Before we start, we need to define two terms. The first term is capacity. Capacity is a fixed amount of value a team can provide over a fixed amount of time. The second term is complexity. Complexity is the difficulty of an item for a team to produce. The capacity team-based approach enables us to contract for teams to produce value even when the exact value the teams will produce or the number of teams required is unknown at the time of contract award. We decided to open a sandwich shop called Technology Subs. This sandwich shop is similar to other sandwich shops that we are all familiar with, such as Subway, Quiznos, or Potbelly. Our sandwich shop is open 8 hours a day, and each day there are always more orders than we can possibly fulfill. However, like a traditional sandwich shop, we have the challenge of not knowing the details of each order until the orders are placed each day. Since the details change daily, we are unable to place the detailed orders in the contract weeks in advance. However, post-contract award, we still want the ability to not only staff this sandwich shop, but we also want the contractual flexibility to open up other locations. But at the time of contract award, we don't know when, where, or how many other locations we may need. How can we contract for all of this future flexibility? Well, let's take a look at what we know about our requirements. First, we have an overarching menu that contains all the items that can be ordered. We just don't know exactly what will be ordered each day or the underlying details of each order. For example, the customer can order a 12-inch sub, but the details such as if the sub will be toasted or not, or if the sub will contain mustard or ketchup, is not known until the order is placed. Second, we know the combination of skill sets that are required to fulfill any item on the menu. For example, we may need a cashier, a toasting expert for bread or wraps, and someone to assemble the orders, and we may need multiple of each skill set. Lastly, we know and can provide all of the tools required to fulfill any item on the menu. Now we can use all this information to effectively contract for our future needs. With the capacity team-based approach, we are not focused on individual contributions, but the end value a team produces. The end value in this example would be a completed order. What we are looking for is a cross-functional team where both the team members are cross-functional and each individual member has multiple skill sets. Instead of paying for individual contributions that may ultimately lead to value, we want to pay one firm fixed price for a team to collectively deliver value. There are an infinite number of ways to write a contract using the capacity team-based approach. However, the overall objective post-contract award is to have the ability to dynamically purchase capacity in the form of multidisciplinary teams. Let's just look at one of many ways to develop the RFP. In this example, let's ask the offerors for three things. First, propose 3 multidisciplinary teams. One team containing 4 members, one team containing 7 members, and a final team with 9 members. Second, propose the skill sets each team will contain. Remember, each team needs to have all the skills required to complete any item on the menu. And finally, propose a fixed price for each team for a fixed duration. In our example, we will use 8 hours for the fixed duration. Given this information in the RFP, an offeror may provide a table looking something like this. Here we see this table is a team of 4 members, and it outlines a skill set each team member is expected to have and the total cost for each team for an 8-hour period. Notice the team has all of the required skill sets to produce any order submitted on a given day. Each offeror would then provide similar tables for the other 2 teams requested in the RFP, which is a team of 7 and a team of 9. Now we have established a firm fixed price for a team of 4, 7, and 9 to deliver value in our sandwich shop. At this point, we have enough information to write a contract for the multidisciplinary teams. However, given only this information, we still don't know the value each team is expected to produce post-contract award. For example, can we expect this team of 4 to produce 6 12-inch subs or 9 12-inch subs in a given 8-hour period? At this point, we are still not sure the value the proposed team is expected to provide for $50. There are various methods we can use to determine an estimated value each team should produce. In our sandwich shop example, we can provide the offer as our menu, and ask the offerers to provide the estimated number of items each team can produce in the 8-hour period. For example, one offer may state, the 4-person team proposed can deliver 8 12-inch subs with chips, 16 6-inch subs, or 4 burritos for $50 in 8 hours. Remember, each one of these items has a different complexity or difficulty to make. However, since we have the estimated value the team can deliver in any 8-hour window, we can estimate the total value a team can be expected to produce post-contract award. In this case, the offeror proposed their team of 4 can produce 1 12-inch sub per hour, 1 6-inch sub every half hour, and 1 burrito every 2 hours. Post-contract award, any combination of these items can be delivered in a given day. For example, in any 8-hour window, if a team delivers 8 6-inch subs, which is estimated to take the team a total of 4 hours, and 2 burritos, which is estimated to take the team an additional 4 hours, these orders when combined equals 8, which is the expected value that was proposed. We would need similar information for all of the proposed teams from each offeror. This provides us an estimate of the value we can expect to receive post-contract award for each team at a fixed cost. Knowing the fixed time, cost, and value of each team allows us to make a best value determination during source selection. Now that we have made the best value determination, how would we monitor the contract? Looking at the estimated capacity a 4-person team can provide, we feel a 4-person team is good for our sandwich shop at the fixed price of $50. We need to also ensure the team has all of the required tools to fulfill any order. Now, how do we intake orders based on the capacity? Since each day we have more orders than we can possibly complete, we have to have someone take in the orders and ensure we stop taking orders when we have reached the team's capacity. Remember, we can't simply count the number of orders each day because each order has a different complexity. So we need to use the complexity of each item when determining whether the team's capacity has been reached. Remember, it's the vendor's responsibility to staff the team with required individuals to meet the proposed capacity. This simple monitoring approach allows us to determine if the team is delivering the expected value, but what about the quality of the value being delivered? Since we are focused on value and not individual contributions, there is an easy way to measure quality, such as the number of orders returned by the customer. Let's say these were the orders we received today. These orders can be compared against the initial customer orders to ensure the value delivered meets the predefined quality, or in our example, the initial order. Since we are contracting for teams to deliver future value, this approach is easily scalable. For example, if we want to increase the capacity at our existing location, we can do this by selecting the pre-negotiated firm fixed price amount for, say, a team of 7, which will increase the capacity, or the number of orders fulfilled at our store. Let's examine a potential CLIN structure. Essentially, we could accomplish this with one required firm fixed price CLIN for our existing store and one optional firm fixed price CLIN with a not-to-exceed amount. Let's look at the optional CLIN. We know the cost of each team at the time of contract award. Let's say a team of 4 is $50, a team of 7 is $75, and a team of 9 is $100, and we set up a team CLIN with a not-to-exceed amount of $400. We can make the determination as to the specific combination of teams we require when we receive the new requirement. For example, if the not-to-exceed amount was $400, we could purchase 8 teams of 4, or 5 teams of 7, or 2 teams of 4 and 3 teams of 9, which are all at or below the not-to-exceed amount. Essentially, we can purchase any combination of teams required to meet future needs until the not-to-exceed amount is reached. Again, think flexibility. We can now dynamically add new stores or even increase the capacity at existing stores. Although we used a sandwich shop in our example, this approach can be applied to virtually any domain. A natural application for the capacity team-based approach is on a mature Agile information technology program where you may need teams to staff an Agile software factory. An Agile IT program typically has a product backlog of work comprised of user stories that are routinely updated based on user feedback. The government product owner routinely adds, removes, and prioritizes these user stories. Given the priorities set by the product owner, the team accepts the maximum number of user stories their capacity will allow in a fixed time, typically called a sprint. At the end of the sprint, the team delivers value. In this example, the value is working software. So these teams also require the tools necessary to deliver the value. Here, they would be provided things like Jira, Jenkins, Visual Studios, or essentially the complete DevOps pipeline. With the virtual nature of information technology, these teams aren't constrained by physical space or materials, making them almost infinitely scalable. Provided the teams have the skill sets and tools required, they can deliver value on any application in the portfolio, or even develop a brand new application that was not thought of at the time of contract award. The example provided is only one of countless examples you can use to implement the capacity team-based approach. Careful consideration needs to be given as to what is provided in the RFP and ultimately placed on the contract. Every program has unique needs, and the RFP and contract needs to be structured to meet your program's unique needs when considering an acceptable balance of flexibility and risk. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at emailmatthewkennedy@gmail.com.